You'd never guess it from watching the news, but the world is still a remarkable place. We're surrounded by extraordinary discoveries and fascinating mysteries, with more added to the mix every single day. We love celebrating the strange and the spectacular on this channel, and we're about to do it again with this collection of curiosities. So let's get started without further ado. Number 15, Capilikaya Rock Tomb. Let's begin our journey in Turkey, the home to countless ancient tombs and mysteries. Göbekli Tepe, without a doubt, attracts the spotlight, but the Capilikaya Rock Tomb deserves its share of attention. One reason it's overlooked may be the climb required to reach it. This tomb sits high on a mountaintop just north of Shoreham. The entrance is hard to spot, even if you know what to look for, but reaching it is worth the effort. It's an astonishing example of ancient engineering, but there's still uncertainty around its origin. No one can say for sure who built it or why. Experts believe it dates back roughly 2,200 years and may have been constructed for a military commander named Ikasis, but that's based solely on a scratched name inside the tomb's wall. There's no solid proof that the graffiti and the tomb are from the same era. Even if they are, Ikasis wasn't a unique name. Whoever this person was, the community honored them enough to carve an enormous cube-shaped tomb straight into a mountain. That speaks volumes. Number Verzen. Metik Stala. Ancient Egyptian knowledge often walked the line between medicine and magic, and that blend is carved into the Metik Stela, which is a monument created during the 30th dynasty about 2,300 years ago. The stela, beautifully inscribed and decorated, contains both medical prescriptions and incantations. It was likely commissioned during the reign of Nektanbo II, Egypt's last native pharaoh, and possibly by his order. Historians believe the content was curated by a priest named Asatum, who compiled the knowledge while visiting Heliopolis and believed it deserved to be preserved in stone. Among the more notable inscriptions is a spell to treat venomous bites and another to make serpents vomit, though the reason for the latter remains unclear. Over time, legends formed around the stela itself. Some people even believe it possesses healing properties for anyone who touches it. However, it's protected as part of the Egyptian collection at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in NY and can't be touched by visitors. Number 13. Viking Runstones in Oklahoma. Oklahoma's countryside is scattered with mysterious runestones. Some believe they're proof of a forgotten Viking presence, while others insist they're 19th century forgeries created when Norse mythology was trendy. The debate is ongoing. One of the more famous stones, the Heavener runestone, was found in 1923. Experts think it was likely carved by a Scandinavian immigrant during the 1800s. Another stone found nearby appears to be Native American rather than Viking in origin. That's the heart of the controversy. Some stones may hold genuine historical or artistic value, but not for the reasons often claimed. In 2007, archaeologist Lyle Thompson analyzed several runestones and concluded that many of the symbols don't match Old Norse. Some are just patterned rocks, while others were intentionally faked. Still, questions remain. Although there's no solid evidence of a Viking colony in Oklahoma, not every stone has been fully explained. Until then, the possibility, however slim, can't be ruled out completely. Number 12. Karun Treasure. The Karun Treasure, or the Lydian Hoard, was assembled about 2,700 years ago and contains 363 gold and silver artifacts. It was found in 1966 when 3 treasure hunters illegally blasted open a tomb near Guri village in Turkey's Uşak province. They looted the tomb and sold everything through the black market, earning over $1 million in the process. The Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York eventually acquired the full collection, but in 1993, a court ruled the museum should have known the artifacts were stolen. The pieces were returned to Turkey and now reside at the Uşak Museum of Archaeology. Locals believe opening the tomb released a curse. All 3 looters reportedly died under mysterious circumstances shortly afterward, though there's no verified record to prove it. Regardless of the folklore, the collection's history is deeply controversial. Today, the treasure remains intact, back in the land where it was originally crafted, serving as both a cultural relic and a warning about the consequences of looting antiquities. Number 11. Tombs of Nakshi Rustam. Iran's Nakshi Rustam archaeological complex offers plenty to see, but its most striking features are the 4 tombs of the Achaemenid kings. The most prominent tomb belongs to Darius I, also called Darius the Great, ruler of the Persian Empire over 2,500 years ago. His identity is confirmed by both an inscription within the tomb and a detailed carving on its outer wall. The other 3 tombs are harder to assign, but archaeologists believe they likely belong to Darius II, Xerxes II, Artaxerxes II, Artaxerxes II. Unfortunately, the tombs weren't untouched when they were found. There's clear evidence they were looted, likely during Alexander the Great's invasion of Persia about 2 centuries after Darius X's burial. One long inscription on Darius's tomb declares his reign over a massive realm, stretching from Greeks and Scythians to Nubians, Libyans, and Egyptians. Whether all of that was true is hard to say now, but it shows how seriously the Achaemenids viewed legacy and power, even after meeting with the god. Number 10. Oldest Mayan calendar fragments. In 2001, archaeologists stumbled upon the long-lost Mayan city of El Palmar deep within Guatemala's jungle. Among its many structures is a pyramid known as Las Pinturas, named for the vivid murals inside its first chamber. Recent studies of the pyramid revealed mural fragments believed to contain the oldest known example of the Mayan calendar. The calendar, called the Tzolk'in, divides time into 260-day cycles, mirroring the average length of human pregnancy. Instead of months or weeks, it uses symbolic names like 7 deer, 9 jade, and 8 star. These fragments date back about 2,200 years, placing them in the early Maya period. The calendar was structured into 52-year bundles called calendar rounds, believed to track both time and spiritual phases. Later interpretations even predicted the end of the world in 2012, though that clearly didn't happen. While the ritual significance of the calendar remains unclear, the Las Pinturas murals bring researchers closer to decoding how the Maya understood time and perhaps fate itself. Number 9. Vithila Temple Pillars. This temple in Hampi is famous not just for its striking beauty, but also for its unusual acoustic properties. Believed to have been constructed between the 14th and 16th centuries, the temple is one of the most admired examples of Vijayanagar architecture. Inside stands a pavilion with 56 stone pillars, each of which emits a distinct sound when tapped. Guides say the tones align with the 7 notes of the Indian sargam scale, which is still used in traditional music today. What makes these pillars unique isn't just their sound, but how they were made. Experts say the pillars were crafted using a mix of granite silicon compounds and metallic elements, forming what's now known as a geopolymer. The odd part? Geopolymers weren't formally invented until the 1950s. Yet, somehow, ancient artisans in Hampi had already figured out how to use a version of the process. No one's been able to fully explain the mystery, but the pillars still ring with history. Number 8. Kermson Disc. The Kermson disc spent centuries hidden in the crypt of a ruined church in Poland, but once recovered, archaeologists realized it could rewrite parts of Viking history. The disc was found near Wollin, a town believed to be the site of the Viking fortress Jomsborg, active between 960 and 1043 CE. According to legend, the Joms Vikings were an elite warrior brotherhood trained within its walls. The disc's inscription supports that narrative. One side names Harald Gormson, king of the Danes, Scania, Jomsborg, and the town of Oldenburg. The other side features a Latin cross, surrounded by 4 ornamental dots. Before the disc surfaced, historians didn't know who established the Joms Vikings. Now it appears King Harald Bluetooth himself sponsored the group. It's unclear who created the disc or why, but some believe it was crafted as a wedding gift for the king during his second marriage in the 960s. Regardless of its origin, the artifact offers rare insight into Viking hierarchy and royal alliances. What do you think about it? Number 7. Roman glass bowl in Netherlands. The ancient Romans were masters of glasswork, crafting pieces centuries ahead of their time. In January 2022, a rare example surfaced in Nijmegen, the Netherlands' oldest city. The item? A flawless Roman glass bowl roughly 2,000 years old. What's remarkable is its condition. Despite its age, the bowl shows no cracks or chips, nothing out of place. It was found during an archaeological dig and is thought to have originated from glass workshops in Cologne or Xanten, though it may also have come directly from Italy. The bowl's vibrant blue hue comes from metal oxides, and its striped pattern was hand-shaped while the glass cooled around a mold. Roman glassware this intact is exceptionally rare, as most fragments don't survive centuries of wear. This particular piece likely belonged to a wealthy individual, given its craftsmanship and preservation. It may have once adorned a Roman home, only to be buried and forgotten until now. Its survival offers a rare glimpse into luxury domestic life during the Roman era. Number 6. SoBore prayer pendants. Visiting the former Nazi extermination camps in Poland is never easy, but archaeologists continue to search for the last remaining traces of those who died there. In January 2022, 3 Hebrew amulets were discovered inside a building at SoBore, each one a pendant etched with the Shema Yisrael prayer, "Hear, O Israel." 2 of the 3 also depict Moses holding the 10 Commandments. All 3 pendants were handmade in Eastern Europe. The building where they were found is believed to have been the place where victims were ordered to undress before being taken to the gas chambers. Over 250,000 Jewish men, women, and children were killed at SoBore between 1942 and 1943. Archaeologists believe 2 of the pendants were made in Poland, while the 3rd originated from Lviv, Ukraine. The amulets suggest their owners carried faith with them to the very end. Ongoing excavations at the camp have continued for over a decade, and every artifact uncovered serves as one more voice from a silenced generation. Number 5. The Bolshoy Zatski labyrinths. On the remote Bolshoy Zatski island in northern Russia, archaeologists uncovered a network of mysterious stone labyrinths, around 40 in total, believed to be over 2,500 years old. Each labyrinth consists of 2 spirals constructed from boulders arranged in concentric ovals. Their layout is too intricate to be accidental. Some scholars argue they served as fish traps, but that theory quickly fell apart. The stones are far too large and positioned on dry land. Others suggest they had ritual significance. The spirals might have symbolized the sun's path or represented a spiritual journey meant to guide souls to the afterlife. Local oral tradition speaks of ceremonies and gatherings, but no definitive records exist. Excavations haven't revealed human remains or tools within the formations, deepening the mystery. The placement of the labyrinths aligns with solar and lunar movements, suggesting astronomical purposes. Though theories abound, the exact function of the Bolshoy Zatski labyrinths remains unknown. What do you think about it? Number 4. The catacombs of the Capuchin Monastery. If you've seen Egyptian mummies in museums, you've likely never encountered any as lavishly dressed as those in the Capuchin Monastery catacombs in Palermo, Sicily. It's undoubtedly the most macabre tourist attraction on the island. While most corpses rest in open coffins, some are upright and fastened to the walls, all clad in their best attire, just as they were when laid to rest. The catacombs are divided into chambers according to each individual's profession and status in life. One area is dedicated to monks and priests, another to physicians. Women have their section, as do children. Not everybody's identity is known, but the oldest is thought to be Friar Silvestro of Gubbio, who died in 1599. The youngest, a 2-year-old named Rosalia Lombardo, was placed here in 1920. Thanks to an advanced embalming process, her body is so preserved that she's affectionately called Sleeping Beauty. Her peaceful appearance is just too cute. Number 3. Lead figurine of an African warrior in England. For years, this small lead figurine was believed to be a Roman wrestler. Found at the Roman Wall site in Staffordshire, England during the 1920s, it matched the kind of athletic figures commonly found in Roman art. But in late 2021, English heritage experts re-examined it and proposed a different identity, an African warrior. Their conclusion is based on several details. The figurine likely once held a spear, though it's now missing. It wears what seems to be armlets and possibly a beaded necklace. Though it's barely 2 inches tall, the craftsmanship is remarkably fine. If it is an African figure, the next question is why it was found in a Roman cemetery in Britain. It could mean that African soldiers or travelers were present in the region, brought in through trade or military service. Though it's not absolute proof, the figurine adds weight to the growing understanding that Roman Britain was more culturally diverse than once assumed. Number 2. Female gladiator in Kunst und Gewerbe Museum. Roman sculptors created countless figurines of male gladiators, but depictions of female fighters are almost non-existent. That's why this statue at Hamburg's Museum for Kunst und Gewerbe is so notable. At first, the piece was brushed off as just another Roman nude, but recent examination suggests it may actually represent a female gladiator. The figurine, thought to be around 2,000 years old, shows a bare-chested woman wearing a loincloth and knee wrap, raising what appears to be a curved blade, likely a sika, a short sword often used in Roman combat. She looks down in apparent triumph over a fallen foe. The sculpture is rich in detail, which hints that it may be based on a real individual rather than an abstract ideal. If confirmed, it would be only the second known statue of a female gladiator. Roman records confirm that women did enter the arena, but they were officially banned from the profession by Emperor Septimius Severus in 200 CE. Finds like this help prove they existed. Alright, now, let's end this with Number 1. Al-Nazada Rock. In Saudi Arabia's Tama Oasis stands the Al-Nasla Rock Formation, an enormous split boulder that looks like it was cut with precision tools. Resting on a narrow base, the rock is split clean down the middle, as though sliced with machinery. The official explanation is that this split occurred naturally through erosion, but not everyone buys that theory. On one side of the rock is an ancient carving likely of a horse or camel, estimated to be about 4,000 years old. That confirms the site held significance long ago and may have been shaped intentionally. Some believe ancient inhabitants may have contributed to the rock's current form using methods we no longer understand. Of course, they didn't have lasers, but how they achieved such a clean vertical break remains unanswered. Scientists argue for natural causes, temperature shifts, sand erosion, or mineral fractures, but nothing has been proven definitively. Until then, the Al-Nasla Formation remains one of the most puzzling geological features in the region. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.